Hey guys, it's Andrew Nelson here. Just wanted to wish you all a happy Tuesday. Hope you had a lovely holiday weekend, um, time with family and friends if you were that adventurous. Otherwise, hope you enjoyed your Netflix series and your extra day off from work. As we get into the first day of the trading week, wanted to go into some of my investments from last week and really kind of my thought process on why I think they're going to have impactful weeks this week. So first, actually we'll do this in reverse order, is EXPI. That's EXP Realty. For those of you not in the know, it is a real estate agency brokerage group model that doesn't rely on brick and mortar like Coldwell Banker or some of those other competitors like Keller Williams. They have some concerns, I guess, or at least outsiders have some concerns about some multi-level marketing sort of accusations as the brokers get shares of the company on sale of property, and they can also get referral fees and a perpetual stream of income off of the commissions of brokers that they bring into the company. While this is allowed for a lot of external fast growth, it does mean that there's some really negative perceptions on EXP. I bought EXP actually after talking in Clubhouse with some of the realtors who work for EXP Realty in different areas, mostly in Vegas and California, and just hearing their enthusiasm over the company they work for made me actually really curious, in combination with the fact that there's a 2-for-1 stock split that is going into effect at market open today. And so even though the price was really, really high, I decided to just take a gamble and see if that enthusiasm wouldn't create some froth to allow me to profit handsomely off of the stock split. Stonks only go up, but in this case, this one could actually go down. I'm not saying that I'm a long-term holder of EXP. It's more of a tactical play for my portfolio. But the bigger stock that I wanted to get into today is GHVI, Gore Holdings SPAC number 6. They've done a couple of SPACs in the past, obviously with some success. Otherwise, they wouldn't have made it to their 6th one. Although, who knows, in the SPAC world, with everything so hot, I think you could probably be averaging just okay and still be looking like you've got some God tier abilities on mergers and acquisitions. For those of you guys who don't know what SPACs are special purpose acquisition companies. They are actually meant to allow via merger for companies that aren't listed on a stock exchange to then be merged with a company that is. That's usually essentially just a shell that has raised money from investors to complete this merger. And then in exchange for the merger, the company that is being acquired gets the cash, and they get to then be actively traded on an exchange without the hassle of what is typically a 7-month-long process. Could be as much as 12 months or 18 months if you are dealing with some real headaches. But a 7-month-long process for an IPO roadshow, clearing the regulators, just preparing your company to go public, dealing with all of the compliance issues that go with that, and all of the fees. The underwriting fees alone, typically for an IPO, can be around 7%. And so you don't want 7% of the capital that you're raising on IPO day to be going to somebody else. This allows for a really efficient way to sort of enter the publicly traded markets. So Matterport is a company. What do they do, and why am I actually so incredibly bullish on them? Well, they are a prop tech company, property technology. What they actually do is They are the company since 2011. They've been doing essentially setting up tripods in homes with 3D rotating cameras to do 3D scans of the interiors of properties. This is allowed for those 3D walkthroughs you see if you've ever browsed Zillow or Redfin or any of those other sites. And in the pandemic, this has been especially really crucial. I know my wife and I, we bought the condo that we're currently in without actually having seen it first, trusting the 3D walkthroughs as well as some FaceTiming with a broker that we had built a rapport with. So we actually relied on Matterport technology to buy the home that I'm currently living in while she is pursuing her master's. Why this stock is actually so attractive to me. So most SPACs, when they first raise capital, as do a lot of the non-traded stuff that I deal with as an attorney, they are raising it at essentially what's considered a blind pool offering, meaning that they don't know what they're going to be investing in yet. They don't have a target. And so typically these things are just set at $10 per share for investors. That's what GHVI was before they announced that they were going to acquire Matterport. Once they announced it, the stock went up to $14. And then I saw it drop down into, I want to say 1270, 1280 range. And it just kind of hung there for like half a day. And it was then that I actually decided to go in and make my purchase, make my bet. So I'm currently up pretty handsomely on it. The stock closed at $16.40 on Friday. Last time I checked the pre-market numbers, is $19.33 in the pre-market, which is absolutely insane. I expect that number to come closer down towards Friday's close, given that there's been no new material information that I've seen come out over the weekend that would positively impact the stock. But the entire US market seems to be rallying amidst what is the craziest snowstorm to hit the entire US. For those of you in the South, or in places that don't normally deal with snow, God bless and stay safe out there. I'm up here in Chicago where, snow is just a second nature to everybody who's lived here for more than a week. But back to Matterport and the matter at hand, why I actually like them. They have this technology. They're not the only ones that can just stick a camera into a room and take pictures of it and send it off to people. But they've shown incredible growth. They also have this huge, vast amount of data. So in one article I read, Matterport claims they have over 10 billion square feet of data, of visual data, spanning over 150 different countries. That kind of intel and insight will really allow for more, let's say, professional developers and industry leaders and even hedge fund managers to pay for that data to get more accurate pricing on homes, on repairs, on what home values are, and on what needs to be done inside of properties. Couple of things to note about the actual merger itself and why I think it's really a cool thing. So in 2020, Matterport made $85.9 million. Not bad, nothing to sneeze at, but with a $3 billion equity value that is expected to come out once the merger is complete, or rather 2.9 billion, that seems a little bit expensive at 33.7x their 2020 revenue. However, Matterport is going to get 745% cash on the 2020 revenue in terms of $640 million once the merger is completed. So they'll have 700%, almost 750% of their total revenues from 2020 in free cash to play and expand with. This is a company that has grown year over year from 2019 to 2020 by 87%. And honestly, I don't think that anything happening with the pandemic is going to slow down the desire for people to want to be able to do a 3D walkthrough of a home or any real estate for that matter before they actually take the time to schlep out to the actual location and sit there and walk through an open house themselves. And these 3D walkthroughs essentially allow for 24/7 access via a open house for people to look at. Now, as far as price targets go, this one's really hard for me to say. I thought getting in at 1280 that, the way SPACs have been going, I could probably expect this one to go up to $20, $25 a share, and then get out comfortably having doubled my money. However, I am excited for this company as a value position for the long term, with essentially 750% cash, 87% year-over-year growth, a huge database of square footage to look at, and an ability to trade in the public markets. I think we're actually going to see Matterport be able to rapidly expand and penetrate further. Certain companies actually already mandate that you use Matterport if you're going to list any listings through them. So I think Redfin's a notable example. Just in talking with a lot of Las Vegas realtors that I know through Clubhouse, they've actually mentioned that if they are listing agents, they've all basically have used Matterport in the past, and they describe it kind of like traders in investment banks describe Bloomberg terminals, something that they feel that they absolutely must have in order to do their job, and that while it's not the cheapest thing for them to actually use in order to try and get that sale and get that commission, that it's a necessary expense nonetheless. So there is some stickiness to the actual user base and user loyalty with Matterport. So that's really all I have for you guys. I do think, obviously, with where it's at in the pre-market, if it stays that way, then this is going to be a really crazy day for the Matterport SPAC. Remember, they're GHVI right now, Gore Holdings, but they will actually change their ticker once they merge to MTTR. So if you guys are actually going to do your own look at the stock, I'm not giving out any investment advice, just my personal thoughts on a stock pick I made and why I'm so excited for the company. I honestly have to say that I'm willing to hold this one through conversion. I don't normally like to hold SPACs through conversion. This one, I very much would like to. And, I've seen Meet Kevin and other people talk about this being a $30, $40 stock. I honestly see no reason why it couldn't get up there, especially if there's some hype that really catches on right as we approach the merger date. So thanks for tuning in. If you have any comments on either the EXP Realty stock split or on Matterport, feel free to just, write them down below. Like and subscribe to videos. I really could use the help to grow the channel and really, just massage the YouTube algorithm in whatever ways it needs massaging. So have a happy week and, good luck out there. Stock investing's fun. It's tough and we might be in a bubble, but there's still profits to be had. And I think one